Okay, my friends, so I'm back. So this is the board mounted into the back onto the back end of the cartridge. So as you can see here, it's hot glued and secure in place. I have also soldered the LED here. So it basically terminates in the LED that I'm going to be using, which will also be hot glued into the front faceplate here. So from the inside, of course, in this area here, where we are going to be able to see the LED basically running whenever we are using the board. It's very secure and very aligned. I'm actually quite positively impressed with the results. So I'm going to just show you here how well this is aligning. So look at that. It looks really great. So focus, yeah. So it looks really great. Like, yeah, you know, based on the size of the cuttings here that I had to do, I would say it's pretty much good, like very acceptable. And I cut it a little outlet here on the side for the LED cable to be able to exit the assembly. And that's pretty much it. Like, what I'm going to do now is glue this this top here. Has to be glued. There is no way to use the screws here, unfortunately, so I'm just going to use like 4 small dots of super glue, like one here, one here, one here, and one here, just like screws, you know, would do. And if I ever need to open this up, I just need to, you know, use a X-Acto knife and break the glue, and I can open up this. Chances are I will never have to open this anyways, because there is really nothing to be done in the board itself. Everything is done through either the SD or the USB that is in here, so there is really nothing to be done from within the card itself. So I'm pretty sure that if I glue this up here, I'm okay. Like, I'm never going to be to be needing to open this unless there is a problem or something like that. But again, even if there is a problem, as far as I know, there is not a lot of serviceable items or object elements here, like a lot of ICs and stuff that you know, I don't have the knowledge anyways to fix a board like this if it fails. And on my experience, it never failed. Like, I never had an issue with it, with the exception of one that I actually had to trash because by mistake I reversed the polarity here on the floppy connector, and I was basically sending 12 volts where it should be 5 and vice versa, and of course this fried the board, unfortunately. So that was a board that it's of course sitting somewhere, you know, along with my other boards, is basically going to be used for parts if ever needed or something like that. But the SCSI2SD board is basically useless, that one. So that's it. I'm going to be gluing this up. I have hot glued this hard foam here inside of the JAS drive assembly, and this is there to basically support the cartridge once it is fitted inside. I'm still need to figure out how am I going to be setting this up here. Probably just like some blobs of hot glue here to secure the cartridge in place. That's essentially what I'm going to be doing eventually. No need to complicate further or anything like it. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to be doing. Maybe a double phase tape as well. That should do the trick here. It doesn't matter really. Like, yeah, double phase tape could be a good idea, so that if I need to remove the board to use somewhere else, for example, it is going to be very easy. Just rip it off and no damage or anything like that. But that's it. So I'm going to now assemble everything, and then I'm going to show you a video with the whole thing working on my Color Classic, so you guys get to see how this goes and whether or not the project was successful. I'm pretty confident it will be. The only thing that I didn't test it by mistake was the LED. I have done this in the past with other, as I said, I have another, let me just show you here. So this is the other one that I use on my Mac Plus. And as you can see, like, it's no cartridge here. I just did something with, I think it is phone or something like that here. But the LED works, and everything works just fine. It's just that, as I mentioned before, the board within this enclosure here, it is just connected back to back to the Jazz driver controller, which basically means that if I need to change the SD cards for whatever it is, I have to open the enclosure and then reach out for the SD card and then close it again, which I never do. It's just, as I mentioned before, what secure those parts in place are basically plastic tabs. And if you keep opening and closing it, eventually it will break, and you know, you lose this beautiful case here, and that's not what I want. That's the whole point of creating this option here, so that I don't have to keep opening the case whenever I want to swap SD cards or something like this, right? So yeah, about the LED, as I mentioned, I didn't test the polarity here. I think it should be okay, but there is a chance I have screwed this up and reversed the polarity, which basically means that if I did it, LED is not going to flash, and I will have to resolder this here, basically reversing it. Eventually I will do that, of course, on the LED side, just because this will be already closed and glued up, and the back of the board is already glued up to this, so I'm not going to basically rip it off just to correct the LED. So yeah, that was my mistake. I should have tested this before. I'm now basically just hoping for the best, really. Worst case scenario, I just have to swap the wires here, so it's not really going to be a messy job or anything like that. It's very easy to do, and I can do it easily. But if I am lucky enough, the LED is going to work just the way it is. So that's it. Let me work on the finishing here. Once everything is tested and working, I'm going to record a new video so you guys get to see the whole thing reassembled and working. Okay? Cheers, guys.